There are a lot of great magic items to use in your game. WotC, Paizo, Hit Point Press, Ghostfire Gaming, one of any of the many third-party creators out there. There's magic item for almost everything. But what if you can't find one that suits what you want to give one of your players? That's where you have to homebrew the magic item. That's what today's video is all about. Today's DM tips topic was suggested by a friend of the channel, an awesome person, Wobble Rocket. Be sure to check out Wobble Rocket. Links in the description. Join their Discord. We have a great old time. There's one thing you want to keep in mind. When you homebrew a magic item, let your players know that you reserve the right to pull this item back, to modify it at any time, either because it was overpowered or underpowered. This could be immediately when you give the player the item, or it could even be sessions from now, once you realize that some of it is just not what you expected, good or bad, for you or the players. So as long as you have that talk, the players, most players, should be understanding that you're creating something on the fly, and it is so easy to overpower an item in D&D. Trust me, my players have a ton of them that I've had to modify a couple of times to bring it back down to where I expected it to be. The first thing you want to do is find an item that is similar to what you want to do. Do you want to give a +1 longsword? Then when you're creating your item, start with a normal +1 longsword. For instance, if you're in D&D Beyond and you're homebrewing the item, you can copy a longsword +1 as the base of your item. This allows you to not have to worry about how to figure out how to get the +1 to attack and the +1 to damage added to the item. It already does it for you. And this is one of the things I love about D&D Beyond is it is very easy to homebrew an item. Yes, if you're trying to do a bunch of different stuff, you may have to Google how to get things to work right, like how to get the spells to be linked inside the item. But the item itself is very easy to do, very easy to create, especially if there's something already exists that has the base stats. So start there. Before we continue, let's hear from Advertising Rich and today's sponsor. This video is brought to you by Only Crits. Do you love sharp edge dice? What about dice with things inside of them like ducks? What about metal dice, both solid and hollow? How about mystery bags of dice? I know I can't resist those mystery bags of dice at my friendly local game store. I just always have to buy one when I pop in. What about dice trays and dice cases? Well, Only Crits has you dice goblins and dice dragons taken care of. They have everything you can ever want when it comes to dice, and each one of us can always use more dice in our lives. So, click the link in the description to go to Only Crits to let them know the Laughing Tavern sent you, and enter the code MESOCRITS at checkout for 10% off your order. Thanks to Only Crits for sponsoring this video. Thank you as always, Advertising Rich. So, what can your item do that no other item can do? Here's an example. In my game, the party at lower levels didn't have anybody that had Revivify. They didn't have access to it. And I was running, it was getting a little dangerous. A couple guys had already dropped down to 0. So I wanted to give the paladin a sword that had a once a day option. It took all its charges to do Revivify. So I took a longsword +1 and then added the ability to give Revivify to it. So it made it a unique item, named it Paladin's Favor. I made it sentient, which, to be honest, I forgot it can do. And as a DM, that's on me. But the point is I took what already existed and added some stuff to it. That's the easiest way to homebrew an item. But as I've said before, with that, be careful with how it scales. It can be very overpowered. Magic items are great if they have charges. This controls the amount of power they have. So even if an item is overpowered, they may only be able to use it once a day, 3 times a day. So very much you want to consider adding charges Start with 1 or 3, and then you can tail it back or scale it up if it's not too overpowered. Very easy to do. Charges are great, and it makes it limited. It's not a, here's something you can do on every turn kind of deal. It's a very limited option. So add charges to any item you create because you're going to regret if you don't. The best way to make an item and make sure it's, even if it's overpowered, it's not going to be a big deal, is to make it a one and done. It's a consumable, whether it's a potion, a scroll, an item that can only be used, the special feature of it can only be used once, and then it's just a normal +1 longsword. And a feature like that really lets you control the overpoweredness of the magic item. And again, you can go in and change it later if you find that, okay, yeah, they only need to use it maybe every 5 or 6 sessions. So maybe instead of being a one and done, I gave it a charge of, it takes 1 charge to use and it resets after a week. You can also do that. You can put a time limit in there that they can only do something once every 7 days or 14 days. A lot of items are like that. You know, the wondrous figurines of power, you know, they're only can be used every 7 days or something. So those are great ways of controlling a magic item's OPness. Because I know I keep saying it, overpowered weapon magic items will kill a campaign or make you as a DM have to do a ton of work. I hand out magic items like candy. Everything I do is homebrew. I'm all over the place. So they're level 13 now, so now it's even harder because now they're all getting legendary items at this point. So you want to keep that power level contained. Charges, once a day use, limit what it can do. The best thing about magic items is you can tailor an item to a specific player. Give them something very cool they can do, something that's not in the game, but it feeds into their playstyle, it feeds into their character. An example from my game. I've got a couple chaotic players at my table. So, in order to reward the wizard, who wasn't been getting a lot of magic items, because a lot of magic items, let's be real, are weapons and armor. 2 things wizards don't really ever use, unless they're tailored for them. So, in my game, they came across a legendary wizard's hoard, treasure hoard. The wizard was trying to come back, so it wasn't that like it was just sitting there. In order to access it, somebody had to be possessed by this old wizard, which they found some NPC that ended up turning into the wizard. They defeat the old wizard, get access to his hoard. This wizard's name was Lazar. So I created Lazar's clay jars of chaos. Basically, there are a bunch of clay jars. The wizard does not know what the effect is going to be. So I created a D10 rolling table. 5 things are good, fireball, thunder damage, etc. 4 things are bad. You cause the creature to fly, you heal the creature, that kind of thing. And 1 is roll in a wild magic table. So he doesn't know when he launches these things what's going to happen. So it adds that element of chaos. It's awesome. We created it in a way that he could choose to expend multiple charges to do it once to get a good result, and that was very overpowered. So now we've removed that, and he can only use a jar and roll on the table, and whatever happens, happens. Now, the clay jars reappear at the end of each day, so no matter how many he uses, I think he has 3 jars. He'll have 3 the next morning, so they're like charges. I could also make them one and dones, or they recharge, but whatever effect it was gets removed, so it can never happen again. So if he hits with the 5th level fireball, that will never happen again from the jar. So see, you can tailor it and tweak it. So what you really want to do to make magic items unique and interesting, look at your players. What can the player do? What can the party do? What can the player not do and they want to do, or they should be able to do? Or what can the party not do that they really should be able to? And like for me, I had to give them a chance at Revivify. I didn't have to, but let's be real. We want to give them one chance to save somebody. So you can make the items unique by tailoring it to the party, tailoring it to the person, to the player themselves. Are they a fire-based wizard and they want something fire-based? We'll give them another fire-based spell. Or give them something that does other stuff so that their spells are fire-based, but they have this item that does cold damage. So you can always work and figure out how to do that. Is the paladin really bad at stealth because of their plate mail, or the cleric really bad at stealth? Give them an item that helps them with stealth, that gives them advantage to stealth, so that maybe it's a straight roll now. Or maybe gives them advantage, so even though it's a +1 or a -1, maybe they can still have a good roll. So work with your players. Look at their character sheets. See what's missing. Talk to your players. What is something they want to do that they can't do? What is something that they feel they need to be able to do? They should definitely be able to help you in creating their magic items. It's something they're going to want to use, so talk to them. This way, if you create a magic item specifically for the player or specifically for the party's needs, that item is not going to sit in a bag of holding for 15 levels. It'll be used all the time. I've created many magic items that have sat in a bag of holding, but the players know they're there because I use a Google sheet and they track the bag of holding inventory so everybody can see what's in it. They go through it and trade out items all the time. But something that they may not use right away can come in handy. I created a grenade of visibility, something like that. And the party got like 3 of them. They didn't use them for like 25 sessions until they ran into a creature that was using greater invisibility and they couldn't hit them. They couldn't do anything to break the concentration. They busted out those grenades of revisibility, and sure enough, they finally got used. So the more designed it is for the party, the faster they'll be used. And work with your players. Be mindful of attunement. If you hand out too many things that do great things, they only have 3 attunement slots, 4 in special circumstances. Be mindful of attunement. That's where consumable items really can offset. Yeah, you don't want to give these guys another item that they have to attune to, but you can give them a consumable that they can use once. And especially as the players get into higher levels of play. Magic items are going to become very sticky because they're not going to want to unattune the items they have. They already have a bunch of items in their bags they're not using. So you're really going to have to start to narrow down and tailor those magic items for higher level of play. Make them specific for an encounter or an adventure that's going to be coming up in 3, 4, or 5 sessions that they don't know about. So they get this cool item, but they don't need it right away, just in a little bit. Start to do that with your homebrewed magic items. Or even, not even your homebrewed magic items. Hand out magic items that are for use later, not immediate. Let them sit in a bag. Let them see if they remember they have it, that kind of thing. A perfect example is Matt Mercer giving Laura Bailey the Dust of Deliciousness and very early games of Campaign 2 for Critical Role, spoilers ahead, and she ended up using that in like session 90. And he totally forgot about it, and it derailed an encounter. So, and that was an item he didn't even think about. It was just a throwaway, you find this item kind of deal. So the more tailored your magic items are for your players and the party as a whole, the better they'll be, the more use they'll get out of them, and the happier they'll be because the items are useful. It makes their characters better. It's an item that they're never going to replace. So, as always, please like and subscribe. Check out our sponsors down below. I've got some big news. I recently tried out for my friendly local game stores board game actual play live stream. It was a success. They offered me a position to join the team. So look forward to those announcements here in the coming weeks. But in the meantime, check out the link for Tabletop Gaming Center down in the description there. And head over to their channel and click subscribe. Let's show them the love and come follow me over there when we start playing some board games. As always, love each other, be nice to each other, and accept each other.